2, 1. Hey everyone, Natalie Egenolf here with Rich Gannon. It's that time of the week again for an NFL weekend preview. Lots to talk about heading into week 13. First things up, Rich, Baltimore versus Pittsburgh. Now, 4 interceptions against the Browns. Lamar Jackson said he looked like a rookie and there aren't any excuses, excuse me. Do you think he'll be able to bounce back on Sunday against the Steelers?
I think he's going to play well, Natalie. I think they need to make some corrections. They won 2 games against teams that really pressured them at the line of scrimmage, and I think they got exposed. And I think they have to go back and address some of the protection issues. We know they can run the football. They're the second best rushing team in football. If you look historically at the last 3 years, they've been the best rushing team in football. And you look at that Pittsburgh defense right now. Last week, Joe Mixon rushed for 165 yards. That's the most ever by a Bengal running back against the Steelers defense. The Steelers defense has been unrecognizable the last couple of weeks. So I think Baltimore will have some success, but they have to do a much better job handling and identifying the pressure. Pittsburgh will try and come after Lamar Jackson. You and I talked the other day. I think the best way to approach Lamar Jackson is not to rush 3, not to rush 4, but to really crowd the line of scrimmage and take care of those seams, those gaps, and not allow him the ability to escape and to run with the football. Force him to sit in there and function as a pocket passer, something that he is not as comfortable doing. So I think you'll see a lot of pressure from Pittsburgh. I think they have to challenge this Baltimore offense. But you look at the Steelers right now on the other side of it offensively, they've got a lot of issues. Ben Roethlisberger is not the same player. I like the Ravens in this one. I think it'll be a typical AFC North battle between 2 teams that have a history of not particularly liking each other. I think it'll be a close game, but I think the Ravens right now, clearly at 8-3, are the better football team.
Alrighty, next up, let's talk about Denver versus Kansas City, flexed to prime time on Sunday night. Do you think Teddy Bridgewater is going to be able to outduel Patrick Mahomes? And, the Chiefs are really catching their stride right now. How do you think this one's going to go?
You're right, Natalie. The interesting thing, though, is you look at the Chiefs, and they're 7-4, and the Broncos are just a game back. I mean, it's a really tight, contested race in the AFC West. You have the Chiefs at 7-4, and then you've got 3 teams, the Broncos, the Raiders, and the Chargers, all at 6-5. So this one could go down to the very last week in the NFL, Week 18. But I like what I'm seeing from Denver. They've got a young roster. When they run the football, they're hard to beat. Their defense has played pretty well. I think the defense will do a good job, matching up. And of course, Teddy Bridgewater, the best thing he does is take care of the football, make good decisions. When they put Drew Lock in there, that's not the case. But they're going to have to score. I mean, in order to beat the Chiefs, you're going to have to put some points on the board because that Patrick Mahomes and that Kansas City offense is going to do just that. They've won 4 straight. They're a lot different football team than they were 3 or 4 weeks ago. I mean, I think they're playing better defensively. Patrick Mahomes has done a much better job taking care of the football. And, of course, they have star power on offense when you look at Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. They get a healthy Clyde Edwards-Helaire back at the running back position. He came back last week and was very effective. So Denver's got to play really well defensively, and Teddy Bridgewater is going to have to make some plays down the field against that Kansas City secondary. I do like the Chiefs at home.
I think that's the popular opinion, Rich. Finally, let's talk about New England versus Buffalo. This one, Monday night, whoever wins this one, first in the AFC East, Patriots enter the game in first place. Going to be an interesting one. I think a lot of people are looking forward to this one on Monday night. How are you feeling about this one?
I think this is the game of the week. I mean, this is obviously the Patriots came out of nowhere. They've won 6 straight games. You and I have talked a lot about Mac Jones and how well he has played. He's on pace right now to be the NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. He's also on pace to set the rookie completion percentage record. So he's up at 70%. He's played really well. He's taking care of the football. The Patriots during that 6-game winning streak have taken the ball away 17 times. They've only coughed it up 4 times. So that's a big part of it. They're scoring 35 points a game. Defensively, they've only given up 10 points a game. So it's a scoring differential, 25 points a game. Not only are they winning games, Natalie, but they're beating people badly. And I think that this is going to be a much more difficult game. Obviously, you're traveling up to Western New York to play the Buffalo Bills. You've got to deal with Bills Mafia. You've got a crazy, rabid fan base up there. It's going to be a great game. I'm sure the weather will factor into it. But Buffalo defensively has been a big story this year. They played really well. They keep the scoring down. They generate turnovers. They don't give a lot of big plays. And, of course, they make you earn it. They make you drive the length of the field. Mac Jones is going to be very patient. He's got to work the ball underneath, take underneath completions, and make sure that he's not trying to force balls into tight windows against a Buffalo secondary that's been very good at taking the football away. In terms of what you can expect from the Bills offense, everything goes through Josh Allen. He's the playmaker. When he's on, they're tough to beat. I think this is going to be a great game. I think coaching certainly factors into it. When you think about Sean McDermott going head-to-head against Bill Belichick, I would say this. I like the Bills at home, but there's also the Bill Belichick factor. There's no better coach in the history of our game, and certainly he's at the top of his game right now. And they do such a great job game planning. It's very game plan specific now. Unlike some teams that they run a handful of concepts, they play a 3-4 or 4-3 scheme. That's who they are. This is the coverages that they play. This is the pressures that they show. He has the ability to change it up week to week. It looks very different week to week based on the opponent. What they really try and do is they're going to whatever you do best. If it's throw the ball to one particular, they're going to take him away. If it's a big bell cow back that they're going to take away the running game. They're going to force you to play left-handed. They're going to force you to do something you don't want to do. That's always been kind of a staple with Bill Belichick. It's going to be a very interesting chess match on Monday night.
Absolutely. And it's always just, you're thinking, oh, is this year where the Patriots finally, lose their fizzle? Is Bill Belichick losing it? Seems not to be the case, so that's going to be a fun one. Thanks so much, Rich. I will check up with you next week to talk about these games and more on our weekend recap. Make sure that you download the Park Sportsbook app and follow us on Instagram and Twitter.